victory in all things, God. We pray now, open our hearing, open our eyes, as we open our hearts to receive you and your word that you will speak to us today. Come now, thy people blessed. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Amen. I was kind of caught off guard because I'm kind of torn between two sermons still. And I'm kind of trying to see. Verse 30, 1 Kings chapter 1, verse 30. 1 Kings chapter 1, verse 30. You got to say, I got it. I will share with you. There is a word that came to me. That is a confirmation concerning some things that's been on your heart. And I want to share with you that communication that I got. And it is an eye opener. I was trying to see if I say AI, but it's an eye. It is an eye opener for us. I will tell you that when I do preach this sermon, that it is you'll get the revelation.
Come on, pal.
You'll get the revelation. But I'm afraid that I won't finish it today, and Bishop will be preaching next week. And if I didn't finish it, I would meet the second Sunday, not to leave you in limbo that long. Okay? But it's something we need to hear.
Let's hear it there, pal.
And I think that if it was confirmed in me, it needs to be confirmed in you. All right? But today, 1 Kings chapter 1 and verse number 30. I don't know about y'all, but Lent has been blessing me. It's been blessing me. 1 Kings chapter 1 and verse number 30. I want to read these words to you, and I want to go ahead and try to get out of the way and move on from here. Here is the word of God from the King James Version of the Bible. It says this: even as I swear unto thee by the Lord God of Israel, saying assuredly, somebody say assuredly, Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne in my stead. Even so I will certainly, somebody say certainly, do this when? Okay. Listen, I want to use for a subject this morning, don't worry when God has promised. Don't worry when God has promised. I know if you are like me, and there are some things that we generically call human nature. There are things that will pop up in your spirit that will cause vexation in your spirit. And rather than us taking comfort in what God has said to us way back yonder, what's in front of us will trouble us. Even when you are stable, there are things that will come in your face that will make you question, make you reevaluate. And if it really look hard, it will make you question, God, what's up? The most promising thing I can tell you today is that God don't lie. God does not. God does not lie. And that's so powerful of a statement. You probably, like me, you used to being lied to. Some folk you expect to lie to. When they come, you see them coming. You say, oh, Lord, here come another lie. I'm going somewhere with this because what we experience in our lives, sometimes there's a tendency to label God the same way. People let us down so much. People failed us so much. There's so much disappointment that when it comes to our spiritual walk with God, we'll throw up our hands and say, I ain't no need of believer because all I ever experience is misfortune. I'm going to give you one reason God can't lie. If God ever tells a lie, God is no longer God. I want you to hear this word. He says, I have placed my word above my name. I lift my word above my name. What is his name? Jehovah. God wants us in that statement to grasp that if I said it, I will perform it. if he said it, you can look for it. You can expect it to come to pass. What are the things then that can negate or delay God keeping his word? Our disobedience can either mute or delay God from keeping his word. But God, when he said it, he meant for it to happen to you. Y'all get quiet. I need you to understand that God's word is God's bond. Oh yeah, my big mama used to say that. Yeah. Let your word be your bond. Whatever you say, you ought to do what you say. I can tell you, I have not found a place in 52 years of consciousness where God did not keep a promise made to me when I did what was right. When I obeyed him, there's not a place in my life that I can find that he didn't keep his word.
My God. Glory. Amen. Hallelujah. Faithful.
So don't worry.
That's right.
When God has promised.
Amen. Glory to God.
This is a very interesting story that I want to share with you today. It is about Solomon's sons. Solomon has two sons that are characters named, where the names are mentioned in this story. Adonijah and Solomon. And Adonijah is the oldest boy. And Solomon is one of the younger boys. He's lost a son. David has. David has lost a son. But kings bring to us the story with these characters, Adonijah and Solomon. There are three things that I want you to remember in this as we move forward. Self-elevation does not mean divine promotion.
Okay.
Self-elevation does not mean divine promotion.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's one thing I want us to realize. Another thing I want us to realize in this text is that God has already in advance selected. He does not go through an election. God has already selected who he wants to use. That's the second thing I want you to remember. The third thing I want you to remember is, in spite of what God's plan is, the devil won't quit. Those are the three things I want to talk about this morning. So let me get started with my story. Here is a king that came up through the trenches, sitting on the throne as king of the nation of Israel. When God was looking for a king that would replace Saul, he sent a prophet to the house of Jesse to go and anoint a particular king. When the prophet got to the house of Jesse, he tells him the nature of his business. In other words, why I am here. I have come by orders of God to anoint the next king of Israel. And he asked of Jesse, show me your boys. Jesse allows at least 7 sons to parade before the prophet. To be, in his opinion, qualified as a king.
Well,
But God says to the prophet, none of these meets my criteria. For God looks at the heart
That's right.
when men look at the outside. He says to the prophet, ask Jesse, is there another child? Jesse says, oh yeah, but he's just a lad
well,
tending to sheep. Even his own daddy says to him, yes, I have a son, but I don't know if he's capable. Check the word of the prophet, the words of the prophet. Go fetch him, but we shall not sit until he comes. That don't mean nothing to you. That doesn't mean anything to you. But let me tell you what it means to me. It says to me that God knows God knew who he was after. And he put the words in the mouth of the prophet to say, we're going to take the posture or the position of honoring the king to be even before he's anointed. In other words, I'll have people to respond before I reveal. So when David comes in, smelling like the outside, curly little hair, athletic frame body, God says to the prophet, that's my boy. He takes the vessel and he anoints David as king of Israel. And they're able to sit in submission to a king to be. Because after the anointing, David has to go back to the pasture. That's a whole other story. But as the story goes on, Saul is moved off the scene. David comes to the scene. And we open up in the book of Kings with David is being near his dying day. He's on his bed, what some folk would call his death bed. I gotta push fast. So David is there, and David is uncomfortable in his last days. And they say to themselves, the king lying upon his bed, though we put quilts over him, he's still cold. Can we fetch for him a girl who has not known a man but is fair looking, who will come and allow the king to rest in her bosom, that he may be comforted in his last days? This is important. They search out the countryside and they find a girl by the name of Abishai. And they bring her to the king, and the way the Bible writes it is that she was a fair girl, a very fair girl. And they tell her responsibilities to the king. You're only to keep the king warm and comfortable. Abishag goes in, and the Bible tells us on the front side that David receives her, but David knows her not. It's not about intimacy. It's about comfort for the king. While David is upon his bed dying, and Elijah gets this thought that my father is dying, so I'm going ahead and get myself in position for becoming the king of Israel. Verse number 5 tells us that Adonijah exalts himself as the king. And he recruits others for his confirmation as the king. Check this out now. He pulls out Joab, who is the commander of the army. He pulls out Abiathar, who is the priest. Both men are serving David. But they jump sides. It's a lot to be said right there. I mentioned to you that self-elevation does not mean divine promotion. Now, you might ask, well, what's wrong with Adonijah promoting himself to king? Because if it's in historical context, the eldest son does have the right to his father's possession or receive the greater portion of his father's possession. But here's the thing that is wrong. Adonijah does not wait to find out if he's God's choice for God's people. When it comes to God's people, God will always select and not allow you to elect. Oh, I said something there. Because we don't have the capacity to know what's in the mind of God and what's on the heart of God. We always get in God's way because things don't work out the way we think they're supposed to work out. Things don't look the way we think they're supposed to look. And people are not who we think they're supposed to be, then we got a problem. Let me tell you something. Before God allowed David to be anointed in his foresight, he already knew that David was going to have a problem with the Lord. He already knew that David was going to have at least one act of disobedience. God already knew that. But God also understood that when David failed, David would get himself back up. God also knew that David would have a heart to try to please God. God also knew that if David ever failed, that David wouldn't quit. And that's some of our problems. When we fail, we want to quit. Look at your neighbor and say, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Even when you mess up, even when you fail, even when you flunk, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You can't throw in the towel because you stumble or fail. You got to keep going. You can't quit because things didn't work out. You got to keep going. You can't stop because you got sick or afflicted. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. Yeah, I might have had a problem. Yeah, I might have had some adultery. Yeah, I might have lied about it. Yeah, I might have stolen. Yeah, I might have killed somebody. Yeah, but you got to keep going. And now just says that I'm going to make myself a king. I'm going to get Abiathar. I'm going to get Joab, but I'm going to get a few more boys and we're going to have a feast. We're going to go down. I like that King James Version. Because what that spoke to me, Richard, is that when I step outside of the will of God, I ain't got the one option in the direction. When I get outside the will of God and decide to go my way and do things the way I want to do them, there ain't but one way for me to go, and that way is down. This book speaks some powerful stuff. And Elijah goes there. I can't stay with this too long because I've got to get to other points. And Elijah goes there and he makes himself an appointment as a king, and he brings these guys along because he has position ambition. And these guys are saying to themselves, we ride with him because his dad is sick. His daddy gonna die. And if we're gonna stay and hold our position, we're gonna ride with the newborn that's on the upcome. Can you see the motivation here? Even when you're dying, folk trying to figure out what's the next move for them. They don't have empathy or sympathy. They see it as an opportunity. Lord have mercy, Jesus. When you're trying to be humble and when you're trying to forgive folk and when you're trying to show a little mercy, sometimes folk will take your kindness as weakness and as an opportunity to walk all over you. Have mercy, Lord, here. Help me to preach this today. I'm just saying my daddy is weak and my daddy is dying, so I'm going to exalt myself to the throne. So his Kai's sidekick say, I'm riding with you. Let me tell you some things that are going on here. I mentioned that these men served David, but now they're going after Adonijah. And Adonijah tried to take what he's wanting without asking God. And Adonijah goes so far, Adonijah goes as far, Dennis, as celebrating himself as the king. This boy's strategic. This boy's strategic now. I need you to follow the story. He invites the priest, the army commander, and all his other brothers to the party except Saul. This boy's thinking now. He's thinking, if perhaps there is a debate, if there is a debate about me being king, I have the confirmation of my other siblings. In other words, other heirs to the throne will say that I am rightfully deserving of this position. Don't you think while you sleeping, folk ain't clapping? This boy has a strategic plan. I got a priest because I know that if I'm going to be king, only a priest can anoint me. I got the commander of the army because everybody is afraid of the man that's in charge. And I got my siblings who will stand behind me. But I want to tell you that while he's partying, he should have been praying. Some people have a tendency to celebrate too early. They have not waited for God's confirmation before they started their celebration. We got that part. Self-elevation does not mean divine promotion. My question to the text, when I looked at this, is if God is in it, then you don't have to plot.
That's right. Look out now. Good one. Good.
If God is in it, you don't have to plot. Check this out. The word gets back that these boys are down there celebrating and having a good time So Nathan gets word, who was a prophet. And some of the other priests gets word. Zadok, get word that the priest says that, wait a minute, something's going on. And Elijah has promoted himself to king. And they're down there celebrating. Check out the question. Does David know about this? So they call Bathsheba and say, we need to talk. You may not know what's going on. What has happened is that your stepson has made himself king. This strong what I'm getting ready to say right here. And he has down there with him a priest, commander of the army, and all his other siblings. And they raising the roof. I charge you today to get to the king and let him know what's going on, or else Adonijah will be the king in David's stead. Why is this important? Because God had already told David when David was interested in building the temple, David, you can't build it. But I will use the next generation to build the temple. And he will be the king of Israel. And his name was? Let me tell y'all something. That's why your obedience, our obedience is so important. Because our obedience is connected to the next generation. If you ask yourself one question, and you ought to answer it this way: why should I obey the voice of God? For my children's sake. Not just for you, but for my children's sake. Can I finish my story real quick? I don't know how much time I got, but listen. He goes on to say that when the word got to David, what was going on, Bathsheba came in and she wanted to talk with him, and she bowed herself before him, and she reverenced the king, and she said, King, this is what's going on. But did you not promise that Solomon would replace you as king? And he remembered, yes. And that's why I have to tell you that teamwork works. Don't put something out there and because you said it, just think that people are going to remember it. Remember, David is on his dying bed. David is in an uncomfortable place. David got other things on his mind. Not about who's going to be sitting on the throne, but man, how am I going to die or live? So he's reminded by Bathsheba that Solomon is supposed to be heir to the throne. And David assures her in verse number 30 that what I told you and what God told me, it shall come to pass. Check this out. Solomon is God's appointment, is God's selection for the nation of Israel. I want you to know that what God got going on in your life, is bigger than your zip code. What God has going on in your life is bigger than your zip code. Let me tell you something. If God hasn't told you to do it, if God hadn't told you to do it, don't do it. That's right. Don't you ever take up something that's going to benefit you more than it's going to benefit other people in God's name. Let me go on and be frank and a little bit more clearer. Don't you join the preaching club because you have financial ambitions. Don't think about the people that's going to put in your pocket, but you're not willing to go through their pains with them and through their suffering with them and through their hardship with them, to hear their stories and to carry them on your shoulders and in your heart. Some of us take up ministry because it makes us popular. And the reason we can't be on time and the reason we can't do it with all of our hearts, because it's more about us and less about them. Come on, preach, Barry. I think I will. But when it's about us, we don't care what time we show up, because ought not be waiting on the teacher to come. The teacher should be standing in place waiting on the class to come. You ought not be waiting on the preacher to show up. The preacher ought to be here waiting on the people to show up. You ought not be waiting on the choir to sing. The choir ought to be waiting on you to hear. When it's about you, you don't care about time. You don't care how your presentation looked. They ought to be satisfied. They got more than what they got, more than what they had. But no. My God is an overflow God. Don't you cut me short. Just because you gave me something, that don't mean that what God wanted me to have. Give me all what's belonged to me. Every usher ought to leave everything in the door. Every choir member ought to leave everything in the atmosphere. Every preacher ought to leave everything in the pulpit. We ought to be pouring ourselves empty every time we come to serve. Mothers ought to be tired and drained when they get home. They ought to feel like taking a nap because they didn't know what they were going to encounter in the worship service. But they've been praying all morning long. They've been having a watchful eye, praying that the devil will not show up. And if he does show up, he's defeated already. That there's nothing that should come into the house of God that prayer won't defeat. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rise against us that thou shalt condemn. Every mother ought to be drained when they get home because they start praying when they got up. They prayed when they showed up, and they prayed when they left. That's what a divine appointment looks like. That you leave asking questions. Did I pray hard enough? Did I miss somebody? Did I sing well enough? Did I mess up? And if I did they notice it? Well, next week I'm going to do it just a little bit better than I did it the week before. Let me go and get out of here. Solomon, was God's appointment. And he was selected to be the king of Israel. But I want you to notice something. Just like Adonijah had his boys, David had boys left for Solomon. Don't you ever think that when people walk out that God ain't got folk that'll stand beside you. Don't you ever think because folk quit on you, God ain't got some more folk that he'll raise up for you. Don't you ever think that God will leave you by yourself. God always got somebody hiding in the bushel waiting for their opportunity to come to the stage. God always got somebody who's undercover that's waiting on you to discover who they are in your life. He'll never leave you empty. 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 He won't leave you by yourself. He won't leave you by yourself. He won't leave you by yourself. God will always have somebody that will come up for you. We move to my last point. He appoints that Solomon will be king. I got to get through this. How will they know that Solomon is the king? He said, take my mule. Watch this thing now. Take my mule and put Solomon on it. Watch what I'm getting ready to say now. You're going to think I'm crazy because I told you something earlier. Take Solomon and put him on my mule and go down to Gihon. Wait a minute, you said the only way you go down is that I get outside of the will of God. Well, let me tell you what's going on here. The reason that David is commanding that Solomon go down is because there's going to be a pull up. Let me help you understand what I'm saying. Because over there at Adonijah's place, the party is growing. The word has gotten out that Adonijah is king, and folk want to show up first because I want him to recognize me. I want him to know I'm in his corner. Y'all know how we lick up and kiss up. that how we try to be the first on the scene so that folk can know our faces, so we can be on record saying, before anybody else honored you, I showed up first. You remember me the day that we do it. When bishops get elected, we running and saying, I voted for you. No, we didn't vote at all for him. But I voted for you and I wanted you. We have a tendency to want to kiss up and lick up. So the party is growing. But David sends the king down so that he can pull the people up who has been misled. He says, when you go down, I need you to blow the trumpet. And I need you to proclaim that Solomon is God's king. Now watch what happens. When they go down, he takes with him, catch me now, he takes with him a prophet, a priest, and a new commander.
New commander.
And Elijah has a prophet. No, he has a priest and a commander in his siblings. But Solomon has a priest, a prophet, and a new commander. Prophet, a messenger for God. A priest, man of God. They go down and they take this, and this is crazy. If you read this in the ESV, I believe, it says that when they get down to Gion, that the priest takes the vessel of oil and he puts the olive oil on Solomon's head. Palm Sunday is coming up. Jesus is only able to ride the donkey into Jerusalem that he may be able to face the garden. But it's in the garden is the pressing floor for the olive oil. King Jesus prays in the threshing floor where the olive oil is pressed out. King Solomon is anointed with olive oil. Both kings ride mules. Y'all don't see the connection just yet, do you? Let me preach on something else then. Here is that when Solomon is anointed, they put the boy back on the mule, but this time he's not going down. He was the king select, but he comes up as the king anointed. Jonathan says, y'all don't hear when Adonijah feast is about over. Y'all don't hear all the noise in the city. Y'all don't know what's going on. And they tells him that you're a man of valor. Come on in and talk to us. You've always got good news. What is going on? He said, man, David has appointed Solomon, king of Israel. And Solomon is riding on the king's mule. Headed up. Headed up. Headed up. The king is headed up. I got to tell you this last point before I go. Solomon is anointed king, Chris. But Adonijah said it ain't over. He goes over in chapter 2 and tells Bathsheba, Solomon's mother, come here. Can I have a word with you? I got but one favor to ask of you. Can you go ask the king for me? Can I have Abishag to be my wife? I missed this Dennis the other day, but I got it yesterday. Why was Adonijah asking for Abishag other than she was a fine? Why was he asking for her other than she's a brick house? Why is he asking for her? Let me tell you what I found out. Adonijah, even though his father had his brother anointed, even though Adonijah knew that Solomon was God's appointed, and Adonijah was still up to trickery. Because here is the thought. If I marry one of the king's wives or brides or one of his ladies, it makes my heirship stronger to the throne.
Come on now.
Even though God has said yes, Solomon, and Adonijah say, God, it ain't gonna end like that. Not without another push. That's why I told you, it doesn't make a difference what God say to you. The devil is saying, I ain't giving up. I'm gonna push one more time. When the word got to David, when Solomon had become king and Bathsheba was speaking to him, he said to Solomon, David, that Adonijah, thy brother, desires Abishag to be his wife. He says to Bathsheba, will he also ask for other things as well? In other words, we might as well get off this seat and give Adonijah everything that he's asking for. Today, Adonijah, he must die. Solomon knew that he was deceitful. Solomon knew that he was up to mischief. Solomon knew that he was up to no good. What I'm trying to get you to see is that when God appoints you, there is some stuff in your life that must die. When God is ready to use you, when God is ready to promote you, there are some things in your life that must. When God gets ready to elevate you, when God gets ready to put you in your destined place, there are some things in your life that must. You got to learn to turn it loose. Give it up. Turn it loose. You got to learn to let it go and let it be so that you can be all that God wants you to be. He's up to no good. He must die. This day, he must die. Don't worry. When God has promised, some folk will try to take your place. Some folk will try to take your place. And even if they, even if they try, God is still God. Wait, I'm not through my statement. God is still God, and you got to trust what God has said. It doesn't make a difference how they throw the party. The most important thing is that the inauguration don't happen. God will let them experience it, but not be installed. So let me tell you this in my closing. Ain't nobody got what you're supposed to have. God has never missed a target. God has never missed a target. Ain't nobody got nothing that belong to you. And God has never missed his target. What God intended for you to have, God will get it to you. Can't nobody stop it. Can't nobody block it. Can't nobody keep it from you. God will always bring your mail on time to the right place. He'll put it where you are and not for someone else to bring it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I got to singing last night.
Thank you.
They conspired. he favored me. Even when they conspired, he favored me. They told lies, but still, he favored me.
Glory! Glory! Glory!
Don't worry when he's promised that he's going to take care of you. Don't worry when he's promised that I'm going to heal you. Don't worry when he's promised that I'm going to bring you through. Don't worry when he's promised.
Glory! 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 Glory!
Don't worry when he's promised.
Glory!
And Elijah was an appointed king without an anointing. And I want you to know that when God selects you, not only will he give you the appointment, but he will give you the anointing. Let me tell you this and I'm done. I'm going to tell you this and I'm done.
Glory!
There is nothing that you would do through the divine will of God that would not come with difficulty, would come without difficulty. But the difficulty is not that what God is asking you is hard, but it's for your tenacity to be revealed. It's for your strength to be revealed. And for you to have the assurance that no matter how difficult the charge, God will always see me through. No matter how difficult the charge, God will always see me through. I wondered when I was reading this text, how much of this stuff was Solomon really aware of? Did he really feel the threat that the throne was going to be taken from him? Did he really feel that his brother had the right place of it? Traditionally, in my notes, I have that you have to be on alert, watchful, and always praying, because God will flip a card on you. God will flip a card on you. God will flip a card on you. Because life, we live it so predictable. When God is saying, let me shake it up some.
Thank you, God. Glory! Glory! Hallelujah!
They conspire.
Glory!
He favored.
Hallelujah! Glory!
Told there
Glory!
He
God favor me, my character, my integrity, my faith in God. He favored me.
Listen, standing all over the building.
Glory! Thank you, God.
I want you right now to get out of your head. I want you to get out of your head all the stuff that you've been up against. There's nothing that you are up against that will prevail over your God. The reason that you got to fight is because the devil is fighting.
Thank you, Lord.
You got to fight because you got to let God know, I want it just as much as you want it.
There you go.
I'm telling you that there's sometimes in my life, I think that I have prayed for folk more than they prayed for themselves and wanted more for them than they wanted for themselves. This is real stuff. This is real stuff. The reason you got to fight for what God has said is because you got to let him know, I want it too. You didn't give me this dream just to be passing by. I want what you showed me. I want to be what you showed me. I want to have what you showed me. So when the devil tried to push me back, I'm going to stand more firmly. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose. The carry out of his whole message is that Solomon was the king for the nation.
Hallelujah.
And Elijah was the king for himself. You got to believe that your life is so anointed that God is sending you forth to be a blessing to the nations. Stop looking at what you got on and what you're driving. God ain't never cared about that. Stop worrying about how much education you got and who you don't know. God ain't never been concerned about that. God will put the right people in the right place at the right time. You just be ready. Touch four folk. Say, get ready. Get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Stuff you worried about, God ain't even concerned about. The stuff you worried about, God ain't even concerned about it. God ain't even concerned about that. Quit worrying about what you don't have. Let me show you something. 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 I don't even know why I'm telling you all this, but let me show you something. Stop worrying about what you don't have. Because what you don't have right now is not what you need right now. Let me tell you why you don't need it. Because you're stagnant and standing still. But if you get moving, every place you come to, God will make provisions there. God is not going to give you everything where you're standing because you're not going to do anything right there. God needs you moving. And every time you take a step forward, God will make provision for the places you are going. Y'all better hear me today. You better hear me today. You better hear me today. You better hear me today. Some of the folk you're trying to hold on to doesn't have the capacity to give you what you need. They can't see beyond their own brokenness. How are they going to see your blessings? The only way you're going to get provisions is that you got to move forward. You got to move forward. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but you got to learn to trust God in the future. Go ahead and make that decision that I'm going forward, I'm going after it. You may not have the loan approval. You may not have the place that you want to have, but use the place you got in the meantime. And God will open up the doors that need to be opened up. If you keep on moving, God will let you meet the people you need to meet. And God will give you what you need. Reverend, I don't see it. You can't see it from where you're standing. You got to go to the next level to see the glory that God wants to reveal. You got to come up from here to be able to see what God is wanting you to see. Don't you worry what he's promised. God has already got your loan waiting on you. God has already got your scholarship waiting on you. God has already got your promotion waiting on you. You just got to keep moving forward. Solomon could have told them, I ain't getting on that mule. And Elijah's already down here celebrating.
Thank you, Lord.
He already down there having a party. But I want you to hear this now. But when my daddy told me, the Father said. But when my daddy told me, the Father said. But when my daddy told me, the Father said. But when my daddy told me, the Father said. But when my daddy told me, the Father said. But when my daddy told me, the Father said. I'll let you catch it. But when you obey because he told me what the Father said. What did the Father say? That I'm the head and not the tail. That I'm above only and not beneath. I'm a lender and not a borrower. And the blessings of God, the promises of God are yea and amen. I don't know what else is telling you. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. But when my mama tells me what the Father said, when my mother tells me what the Father said, I don't need to worry because God is going to do what God said he's going to do. Stop worrying about what you don't have. Move forward and trust that the provisions are in front of you. I ain't got it. You ain't supposed to have it right here. But get in a place called need. He'll show up for you. Get in a place called need. He'll show up for you. Anybody ever needed something and God showed up for you? It was almost at the eve of the hour, but right there before the clock struck, he showed up. I want to offer Christ to show me how I thought this sermon was going to go.
My God, my God, my God.
I want to offer Christ. If you're in this room and you don't have Christ in your life, you haven't given him your life to be saved, I want to invite you to come to the altar and meet me here so you can have the opportunity to do that. If you're here today and you came in as a visitor and the Spirit of God has spoken to you and say, this is the place I want you to be. This is a community that I want you to be a part of. I want you to come and meet me here at the altar. If you came in here today and you're saying, God, I just need a fresh start. I need you to come and meet me here at the altar. I need you to come and meet me here at the altar. To give your life to the Lord, to become a part of our faith community, or to say, God, make me over. I don't know the words to this song, Be Faithful to Me. Get just a little bit of that.
Won't compromise, my character, my integrity, my faith in God. He favored me, will not fall, will not win, won't compromise. He favored me, my character, my integrity, my faith in God. He favored me, will not fall, will not win, won't compromise. He favored me, my character, my integrity, my faith in God. He favored me. Oh, he favored me. Oh, he favored me. He favored me. Yes. He favored me. Thank you, Lord. Will